In today's video, we're going to talk about feeling like a boy in a man's body. Hi, I'm Dr. Brett, and I'm here to help men make a difference in their lives and to move forward and be the best versions of themselves. So today, I want to talk about feeling like a boy in a man's body. And that was me for many, many years. I'd been married for 2 years at the age of 42 by the time I felt like I was actually a man in my body. I felt like, up until then, I felt like a child. And it's a really horrible way to live. And you know, I'd done a lot of stuff before I felt like I'd actually felt that manhood, that strength of becoming a man. And it was something that I thought people would pick up on. I felt like a fraud about it for many, many years. And I'd worked as a police officer for 9 years. I was a detective for a couple of years of those. I worked in finance. I had worked as an investigator, as a sales rep. And so by the time I was 40 and I got married, I still really did feel like a little boy inside. And that all stemmed back from my child abuse issues. And I just didn't realise, I didn't know how to deal with it. I didn't know how to move forward. And that's the problem with maybe the society today, with when it comes to our culture and our traditions. We don't have any rites of passage into manhood anymore. There's no, in a lot of cultures all throughout the world, still to this day, there's all these traditions and ceremonies where you become a man. And that doesn't happen in our society. So that's something that is being addressed by many people around Australia now in the Western world. A great man by the name of Dr. Arne Rubinstein, he has the rites of passage, and he allows teenagers to become young men and young women through a rites of passage that they do with their parents, which I think is an awesome thing. And Arne's doing a great job, and you should check him out. So like I mentioned before, when you feel like a boy in a man's body, it's a terrible way to live life, because you just feel like you're pretending to be someone you're not, because you still feel like that you're just a kid. You're doing adult stuff, but inside you just feel like a kid. Even though physically you're a man, emotionally I wasn't. And I think that's one reason why I had several relationships fail. You know, I lived with a couple of wonderful women, but at the end of the day, things just didn't work out. And I think that I was just not fully emotionally able to do that. So, and like I mentioned before in past videos, that's unfair on the people that you're actually in a relationship with. So the other thing I used to do is I used to rely on my parents a lot. You know, I used to fall back on them, either emotionally or financially, and that wasn't really. It took me till I was basically married and a couple of years into my marriage before that resolved. And I think a lot of that had to do because I had such a wonderful wife who allowed me to become me and become the man I am today. So without her, without Kim, I wouldn't be who I am today. And that was just another step in my momentum forward, thanks to her and her support and her love. So by being in that mental and emotional state where you're almost stunted, it doesn't allow you to be the best you are. Either you can't live your life to the fullest, definitely. You can't love to the fullest, and you can't be yourself in the way that you should really be. And it feels like everything's sort of toned down. It feels like your life is sort of almost muted to a point, because it's not actually fully out. And so it really, when you actually get that light switched on, all of a sudden things start to change. And that's when my momentum shifted and I started to move forward in my life, and things started to shift a little bit. And that's where I started to feel like I was more of a man emotionally, and I could actually be a bit more who I am. Things probably started to unravel a bit more as well at that point in time. Things were probably already starting to unravel, but this enhanced it a bit more. And I talk about unraveling a lot. I had a chat to an old friend yesterday about unraveling, and it's something that people just, it happens when there's something built up and pent up inside you. it affects you in so many different ways that when it unravels, it's a bit of a strange thing to understand. But once you get that knowledge and understanding about why it's unraveling, then all of a sudden it makes things a lot easier for you. So I just want you to understand that, you know, that there is, if you do feel like that, and you do feel like you're still a child in an adult's body, whether you're male or female. Obviously, I'm talking a lot from my experience about being a man, and in today's society, as a man, you have to act a certain way and behave a certain way. That's bullshit. That's got to stop. You have to be yourself, and if it means being a certain man in a certain way or a certain woman in a certain way, then just be you, because no one can ridicule you for being who you are, and as long as you're authentic and true to yourself, then life is going to be so much better and so much more rich with love and life and laughter. So I just want you to remember that I've shifted my momentum by growing and opening up to change, because there is opportunity for change out there. You just have to find your right path. There's different paths out there. If you want to know what I went through, please personal message me. I'd love to know and hear from you guys. So please, on the Facebook feed, just put down any comments that you want to share with me. I'd love to hear from you. I've got some wonderful feedback in the last few days from people who are wanting to chat and ask questions and have conversations, and that's been amazing. It's been a massive momentum shift for me and what I'm doing in the last few days, and it's very inspiring. And you people who are doing that, you should take a massive congratulations, because your inner strength and your courage is amazing. So just keep fighting that fight and moving forward. And just remember that to be the best version of yourself, sometimes you have to step out of your comfort zone and grow and challenge yourself and look at the world from maybe a different perspective sometimes. So in the meantime, look after yourself, share the videos, share my posts with as many people as you can, because we need to get this message out to everyone, and we need to change the way men are viewed, the way we should behave, the way we should behave, and the way we should be open emotionally and mentally with our hearts. So until next time, peace and love to you, and bye.